The CBS New York Book Club has an exciting new romantasy where a teenage girl battles demons and endures deadly contests to save her mother's soul. The young adult novel is called The Scorpion and the Night Blossom, and author Amelie Wen Zhao is here to talk all about it. Congratulations on your beautiful novel. But boy, your character has a heavy responsibility. Tell me how you came up with this idea.
So this book actually came to me literally in the middle of the night. I woke up in a hotel in Washington, D.C., and it was this really vivid scene. I don't know how it came to me. It was a girl in a bloodstained white gown in the middle of a lake. She was holding two bespelled blades, and she was facing this deadly demon across from her. And I immediately started writing it because I was like, who is she? Why is she here? Why is she fighting this demon? And the answer came to me, I think it's on page 2 of the final book. It's a line where she says, I have to be here to harvest these magic lotuses so that my mother can live for another few months. And the character of Aing just came to me fully formed. She's brave, she is, she's willing to fight for her loved ones, and she's willing to do anything to save them. So that really informed the rest of the book, where she goes on, these magic trials to gain a pill of immortality for her mom. But she also falls in love with one of those beautiful, deadly demons.
And she encounters that mysterious man along this journey. What about him?
He was one of my favorite aspects. So one of my favorite scenes, do you know that one in the bamboo forest where it's the meet cute, but with blades in a romantasy and high stakes? It's sunset in the bamboo forest, and she sees this beautiful man across the clearing from her, and he's starting to turn around with this red cloak, and their gazes just meet. And I wanted to capture the feeling of like your first love in that, because she is a young woman. She's discovering who she is through, these trials, through all this magic, and through love. And I think what makes the tension so alluring in this romantic relationship is that they are rivals in this deadly magic competition, so they have to kill each other, but they're falling in love with each other. And Yu Chen, the love interest, he summarizes this perfectly in a sentence when Aing, the main character, asks him, why are you so hot and cold towards me? And he's like, well, because I want you, but I can't have you. Yeah.
That elusive first love.
Exactly.
Tell me about your own encounters. You talked about your trip to D.C., but you've really traveled the world, and really interesting that so much of that comes into your books as well as your writing.
Yeah, I grew up in Beijing. It's where I'm from, it's where my family is. So definitely so much of my writing is informed by my background. So I grew up with a huge treasure trove of Chinese myths and legends. One of my core memories of childhood is my mom and grandma tucking me into bed and telling me all these stories. And it's all of these tropes of, fairies falling in love with demons, mortals going on these quests for pills of immortality. And seeking immortality is a huge theme in these novels. So all of this lived inside me. I've carried these stories an ocean across now into New York City, and I've put them into The Scorpion and the Night Blossom in the form of a romantasy, but with the mesmerizing world building of Chinese high fantasy.
It's just so beautiful. I think when people read your books, they may not realize what you do for your day job.
Probably not.
Which was really surprising to me as well. You're in finance?
Yeah. And I don't think my finance colleagues know either. It's an interesting combination.
But, probably quite remarkable, because then you could be so creative in your writing because you're so analytical throughout the day.
I think it's such a nice contrast to come home and write after work and be able to just escape into this completely fantastical world. And in writing The Scorpion and the Night Blossom, I didn't feel tired coming home from my day job after a full day of finance things. It just poured out of me in 6 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so quick.
I couldn't stop writing it, and it's just such a nice contrast again to dive into this Chinese high fantasy world.
It has been such a pleasure to talk to you. Congratulations on your book. We're all looking so forward to diving in, and looking forward to a sequel too, we understand.
Thank you.
All right, fantastic. The book is called The Scorpion and the Night Blossom.